in sunny Florida, and I say sunny Florida, but it's rather rainy today. And I am Savat the Mighty, and I am here with another Eve Echoes video. Today I'll be doing the live stream thing, and so, but it's going to be a little bit different than normal. Let me go ahead and get my chat set up here. Open web browser. Perfect. Okay. So today we are going to be doing another at zero challenge type thing. However, this at zero challenge is kind of brought to you by Dominic Hallam from the comments, and I hope I'm saying that correct. He wanted to try out the Dominix, and I figured today would be a good day to go ahead and do that, and I could go ahead and do that live. And so it is going to take a bit of time, but I will go ahead and jump right in. Please, if you haven't already, feel free to like the video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I do release new content in the future or go live. Yes, as you can see, I'm filming this one kind of more in my normal video context, but it will be live and we'll go to a lot of chat as soon as more chat appears. Okay. Hey, Skillant and Totally Obama, what's going on? So yeah, today is a bit different. I am going to do one of these live. The fitting that he suggested, I did have to make a couple of modifications to in order to make it work correctly. I had to get my cap to stable if it was going to even have a chance of surviving at zero. So I did make some changes. What he wanted was in the top slots, I have Pith C-type large rapid missile launchers. These guys are going to have a range of 36.89 km. Gonna make it like last time. Oh, we'll see. We will see. So yeah, they have a little bit of a shorter range there that we're gonna have to play around with. However, the drones are the main thing on this ship. You are welcome. Thank you for showing up. All right, in the mid slots, there's two Vrickalakis large energy Nosferatus. And I do have a Predator Stasis Webifier. And so hopefully the web's going to be able to slow down some of the smaller ships and be able to do that. I did bring a couple of different sets of drones. Close enough? Alright, thank you. I brought a couple of things here. I do have an array of the Vespas here, the Mark 9s. I know, they're probably not the optimal ones for using this, but I don't feel like manufacturing a whole bunch more. I did also bring a set of large drones as well. And so I have the large and the medium. I'm going to start off with the medium, and I'll move over to the large whenever I have some bigger ships that I need to take out. So yeah, we're going to try that and see if that works. In our bottom slots, we have two large Pith type... I'm so sorry, Pith C-type large shield boosters, and I have 3 of the GIST adaptive invulnerability fields, and 1 Pitham C-type reactive shield hardener. Don't need any type of propulsion because we are going to be sitting at 0. And for the rigs, we have a couple of semiconductor memory cells and a capacitor control circuit. The ship is sitting at stable. For our other rigs that we have, we're using defensive ones. We have a core defense charge economizer 3, which is going to give us more shield boost, which we're definitely going to need. And we had to put in 2 core defense capacitor safeguards to hit that cap stable. I tried it with one, didn't quite get there, so I did throw in the second one. Alright, we have all of that set up here. The damage on this ship is a little bit low. There is no damage mods or anything, so with the medium drones it's at 962.76. And that does include the missiles, so hopefully everything stays within that 36 km range. Otherwise, it's going to take a very long time to kill anything. Okay, for the defense on this ship, let's go ahead and turn that on. So we're looking at 168,500 effective hit points, and 25,141 is in the shields. Now this thing does have a bigger armor tank than a shield tank, but that's okay, we're going to try to make do. Our hull is basically going to be that EM. It's still not too terribly bad compared to the thermal. We're sitting at 72 and 78 on those respectively. Our kinetic and explosive are pretty good, both sitting at 85 and 86. Navigation doesn't particularly matter in this, but we do move at 189.95. Another thing to look at here is we can lock a maximum of 7 units. So that might come into play depending on how we're going to be juggling those. So I am at the first encounter. This is probably going to be a little bit of a longer one because of the damage on here, but I will be hopefully just spending time with you guys, and we will see. The harder waves are going to be the ones that we really got to focus on. Let's go ahead and warp in and see what happens. For this one, I did choose Bad Hair Day again just because I had the books available. And we're just going to warp into 0. And we don't have to worry about a warp out point or anything like that, because we're either going to do it or we're going to die. We're going to see some glorious explosions.
Warp drive active.
Again, just to make this very clear, I am on the public test server, so whenever I do some things, I might have to hide the screen. And also, all of my skills are sitting at max, 555s across the board. Hello, Cold Shadow. And Kinchi. And here we are. So one of the things I found out is a lot of times whenever you do first come in, it doesn't actually put you at 0. You're a little bit off, so you have to maneuver there. Okay. So yeah, we're just chilling right now, trying to get to 0, and then we're going to stop our ship. Let's go ahead and hit those, and the Weber if we can. I am starting off with the medium drones because the medium drones should be able to take out all these smaller ships no problem. And Kilo 55, hi. Again, this thing is not going to kill anything fairly quickly, but so we're really depending on the tank. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. Again, I don't think there's going to be any type of issues for the first couple of waves. It does help if we actually get the drones actually firing, though. That would definitely benefit us quite well. I thought that was a little slow even for this. So with the medium drones, we shouldn't have any issues with these smaller ships. They should die pretty quickly. Let's get these running. Yeah, I saw. They do that to me from time to time. I am a little bit concerned that the shield is dropping as fast as it is. I know it doesn't have a big thick boy shield like a lot of the other ships that I've used, but that's already a bit concerning with just this tiny wave. So we shall see. Let's go ahead and activate one of those and kind of get a feel for what our tank is going to look like. I want to see, I usually use these preliminary waves to do some stress tests on it. Like whenever I get to one of the harder ones, I'll actually activate both the shield boosters. I want to see where it remains cap stable at. I do have to take into consideration they are going to be nosing us, and sometimes I don't think there's any newts in this mission, but on some of them there are other newts, and I do need to make sure that I'm taking out those ships first. Alright, we got our little activation there. No need to run that right now though. I mean, honestly, we just got a couple of missiles going in. So yeah, this Ferox is the battle cruiser. We have the Raven. We're going to actually get a good feel for the time it's going to take to kill stuff. I am saving the Raven for last in this case, and that's because I'm going to try to swap out those drones and see exactly how long it's going to take me to do that. I want the Fulmination test server too. I want to try a Balgorn, but the normal server I can't get it. Well, I have some advice for you. If you start making YouTube videos on a regular basis and submit to the Eve Echoes content creator application, you too could get access to this server. You do have to follow the rules and regulations. Only the Amars have newts. Okay, perfect. I fight the Friends by Blood, I believe it is, or Friends of Blood or something, quite a bit, So yes, there is hope. You can definitely get access to it and play around with all the stuff as well, as long as you put in a little bit of time to start making some videos and get approved by them. I think I had 300 subscribers when I originally got approved. Okay, so next step here, I am gonna, how do I do this? I guess that's not right. Here we go. I want return all. And do I have to do it in here? I haven't changed drones in forever. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. Yeah, that's going to take me a bit longer than I want it to take. So that does amp up the DPS quite a bit. Go get them, little drones. Plus 100 content creators. Well, you still do have to get approved. So I don't know if the stipulation has gone up. I first joined them when the game was very, very new. Me and a bunch of the other content creators that a lot of them don't create content for the game anymore. All kind of applied similarly around the same time. And believe it or not, I think I was one of the last ones to actually get approved. You could change outside. Check the one next to return all. Should say change. Good to know. And can I put these... You're not attacking? Please, go do the attack thingy. I'll put all you guys here for now. Let's actually explore with that right now. So this is a little concerning. It wants to keep bringing up that instead of... There we go. I have return all, and change. Got it. Change drone space. You need to drag the drone up, and it's one of the options. Drag it up. Got it, got it. That makes more sense. Thank you very much. Like I said, don't normally fly the drone boats, so don't change my drones out too terribly often. I knew they made some changes to it. I just haven't played around with those changes since. Alright, so we got rid of a majority of this stuff here, so we're going to go ahead and stop all these guys. I can't stack them up while they're in space. That is unfortunate. Okay, so return all. Stack you bad boys up so I don't have to click more. This is still... I mean, I wish they would stack them. Change. Boom, boom. Oh, you still have to go through this. They don't just let you select one and change all. This definitely still needs some love. They could do better with this. Maybe give you some presets. If they give you some presets, that would be awesome. Just say, hey, I want to have all of these deployed when I click this button. And the reason why I'm changing them out right now is because the next wave is about to spawn and I want to take out the smaller ships first. And get you guys firing again. You don't need to stack them to change. Ah, okay. Good information there. I will remember that. Yeah, so the medium drones don't do as much damage to the battleships, but we will see. Alright, we're just going to lock all. There shouldn't be any type of elites, so we should be okay for these waves. Nothing really that we need to pick out of the bunch. Let's go ahead and start taking out some of the smaller guys. Yeah, drone sets would be awesome. I mean, I don't even use drone ships, and just after that one encounter with having to switch those up, man, if you could just create like control groups for them, that would make that infinitely better. Let's zoom out here a little bit, get us a little bit of excitement going on instead of just staring at the ship. Alright, that looks a little better. At least we can see the droney boys going out there and doing some stuff. This guy is a little bit out of the Weber range, so good luck, drones. Have fun. maybe he'll come into us and we can help you out. But till then, you're all on your own. One of the things that I did also discover too when I was doing the last video is these rapid missiles have some strange damage applications. They definitely don't do the damage that's listed. Sometimes they do more, sometimes they do less. Alright, I'm having to keep a real close eye on those droney boys down there and make sure they're actually targeting. Okie dokie. What if you do 2 stacks? Can you change from me to large? I don't know. I'd actually have to have, I think I'd have to keep one of the large drones out. Maybe do a mixed bag of drones, have a couple of large, couple of mediums. Just change out a few whenever I need to. I don't know, there's got to be some optimal way to do that. I'll leave that for the pro drone pilots to figure out. So again, I am using my only drones that I have, which are the Vespas and the Ogres. On the server, you can't just get drones, you actually have to manufacture them. So I have been very lazy and only manufactured this bunch of them, so I know other drones would be more optimal, but this is what we're getting. Oh. So yeah, these videos are really fun to make. I enjoy it, but they do take quite a bit of time for just getting to that last wave. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to just spawn the last wave. If I did, that would be fantastic. Alright, let's try this again. Change. Can't change because they're in space. Return all. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember my clicks. 5, and you didn't get caught. Alrighty. I want my shield booster there. They're all attacking, so we're good there. That's getting a little bit better, but I still am a little concerned about swapping those whenever I have 30 ships on deck. On that last wave, sometimes I want to take out the battleships first before the smaller ships. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do that. When the last wave spawns, I'll have to leave the big boys out. We can actually leave the big boys out for the start of a wave and test that ahead of time. So with the large drones in, it's actually 691.91 DPS, or just shy over 1,000 including the missiles. So they do add a little bit more damage, but again, they're not going to apply that damage great to the frigates or even some of the destroyers. Hey, how's it going? But I am glad I have them, because dealing with these battleships, it's definitely going to be a whole lot better, in my opinion. Alright, so this next wave will start with the large boys out. I guess we could turn that off. 79 looks pretty good as far as the capacitor goes. 3 mediums and 2 large. Mediums take care of small, large missiles. Start on the large. Thought. Well, we will see just how tanky this thing is. If I do 3-2, I don't know. Again, when I was using the rattlesnake, I had to split the damage because I would have some ships that spawned farther out, and I'm not sure if just taking out the what I can isn't going to be more effective than splitting the damage unless I have to. Let's zoom back out here. What do we got? Let's just go ahead and go to ships, and let's go ahead and lock up the Raven and the Rock and the Rock, and let's play this backwards. And you're getting locked, Mr. Cormorant. You're gonna be my newt target for the time, or yeah, NOS target. I don't like you, so you are first on the list. Let's hit you up. Hey, Cormorant, just hang around me. He'll be alright. So another thing here, we actually have to worry about these guidance disruptors. And the guidance disruptors are going to do some horrible things to us. So as you can see, our missile range has already been dropped here to 32. Not too terribly much, we're still okay for everything, but once we have the bigger waves and have those on, those missile guidance are bad, and also this energy being absorbed, which we're working on getting those taken out too. The larger ships are going to have large versions of this, so I'd like to take them out first if I can, to stop that energy drain, if possible. You quit the game a while back, but thinking of coming back? Oh no. Well, I mean, everyone does their own thing. I know Eternal Echoes doesn't play anymore. For the time being, they moved over to Valheim, and Valheim is a wonderful game. I love playing that game also. But I still really do enjoy this, and I have a good time with it. It's nice. It gives me something to do. I'd like to Original Eve, though, too. And I have actually a lot of friends who have been begging me to come back over to Original Eve. They're like, hey, stop playing that mobile game and get over here to the real thing. And I'm like, really? So... sorry about that, had a cough. So yeah, this thing's really not in any type of danger right now. Oh, excuse me. My drink went down the wrong pipe. That's what I get for talking and drinking at the same time. Shouldn't be doing that. Speaking of which, I'm gonna take another drink. Oh, that was rough. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, right now we're not in any type of danger. It does look like we are going to have to switch the targets over occasionally for the NOSes. But I am just keeping an eye on kind of the capacitor right now. We just have one shield booster running, and it's fine for this level of threat. But it is killing extremely slow. Okay, next thing, we're going to take out the MOAs. And we're actually going to stop those and put them on the MOA that we're targeting as well. This is the new real thing? Yeah. Come on. So we are using the larges. Let me see if I can grab that boy. The problem, in my opinion, I think the game will die soon, like most mobile games I played before, so I don't know. Most of the mobile games that I played before are actually still running strong. I played Grand Blue Fantasy for quite some time. Loved that game, and it's still running pretty good. I played Summoner's War for quite a while. That game's still running pretty strong, even though I don't play anymore. I'm using these large drones on these smaller targets just to kind of see what's going on here, and so far I'm liking what I see. Now what I don't like is our power grid has dropped to 68. Let's get this guy taken care of. So this frigate's going to be the real test for these large drones. Okay, so frigates and large drones do not mix. I can see that now. So this guy here is not even doesn't even have a micro warp drive or anything like that, and this thing is still whiff city on these guys. They are able to do some damage, but that's very, very slow. So for the frigates, yeah, we're definitely going to have to swap out those drones, but it looks like anything bigger than a frigate we're okay on. Maybe, but unlike CZ, this isn't like any other mobile. That's true. All of that is very true. Well, there's a lot that's to be said about what's happening here, and really it's going to depend on them, whether or not a big crowd actually does return to the game or not. For example, I know that a lot of people are waiting for the exploration, so if they get the exploration right and it's really good, they're going to have a lot of people come back to the game, and they're just going to have fun going around the galaxy exploring, finding different things, and doing that, as well as doing all of the combat and whatnot on the side. So I know that would be that needs to be done pretty good in order to get back a lot of people who have left. I was watching one of Benzi's videos, and apparently they're going to do like a PvP leaderboard or something like that. So I guess for the PvPers out there, there's some stuff to look forward to coming up. I don't know if the arena thing that they were proposing is going to be what people like, but hey, I do like the idea that they're trying stuff. They're a bit slow on getting it out, but they are still trying stuff, and as long as they keep releasing new things like that, I really do think they need to get their events in order, though. So, unlike other mobile games, most of the mobile games that I play, they'll have like weekly events and monthly events, and they stack them on each other, so it seems like you have way too many events to do, and I've made this point before. And if Eve Echoes did something similar, they would capture that mobile crowd a little bit better. So if you had a weekly event to go out and kill Sancha ships that appeared, and these anomalies or something, and if you got a certain amount of points by killing X amount of Sancha ships, you could get reward tiers and pick stuff up. Then people could play it and make the reward tiers just like equipment. Make it, you know, some of the rarer stuff, I guess. You know, if you actually get like 1 billion freaking points, you can get a Meta 8 item. But if not, they have Meta 5s and stuff in there that you can just earn that way. Now, I know what a lot of people say with this. They say, well, that's going to destroy the market. In my opinion, the market's already pretty much screwed. So this, again, is a mobile game. Treat it like a mobile game. But that's just my opinion. I do think all of those events and things like that, with actually giving out rewards for playing the game and participating in different things. And then like the Battle Pass thing they did, I really like the idea of a Battle Pass, but I don't think they implemented it quite right. There's a lot of doom and gloom talk from players on Discord. I see folk predicting the game is going to end soon. I reckon they'll have the budget to keep releasing things for a while yet. Well, you can really tell how good the game is going by selling Plex. If you sell Plex, Plex had to come from somewhere. Someone is buying Plex. So if you're still able to purchase Plex and you're able to sell Plex instantly in the market, then things are going well as far as fiscally for them. Is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be like $1 billion game? Maybe not. But they're still going to be able to keep afloat. I forgot to have my NOSes on. Yeah. Can you please buy the game and become the developer? No, I don't have that type of money. I tell you what was it? I was watching Jackass, the new number 4 is going to be coming out. So there's apparently a little bit of drama going on with that. And Bam, who was one of the original members of the Jackass crew, is not going to be in the newest video. I have one drone who was slipping up there. And he was pretty butthurt because apparently he's still struggling with his alcoholism, so they weren't letting him in. And one of the things that he said in the little interview there was like, if everybody that follows me just sends me $100, then I could make a better movie than them. So I'm going to steal his line, and if everybody who follows me sends me $1 million, then I might be able to purchase this from NetEase, and then I will help develop it. I don't have that many followers, so I have to up the money. Yeah, just because it seems like the game is dead to the hardcore population doesn't mean that it is dead. There is a huge presence in HiSec with people who are playing this game, and from what I know about mobile games is a lot of people are going to make their big purchases whenever they first start playing them. So if you have 100 new players come in, take a look at it, realize that they're behind, and go, man, I want to plex out this new ship that they have here or the next thing, and they just spend $5. Well, you got you know, a ton of new revenue actually coming in with those people doing it. There is a ton of people out there too who really are enamored and love skins and will actually spend a lot of money on skins. So trust me, I know I'm one of them. I've played some games and I've paid $50 for just one skin in one game, and I had to have all of the skins for all of my little characters that I used and everything like that. And so there are people out there with disposable income, and if they like what they're playing, they're not afraid to dump some money into it. And so as far as that mobile market goes, if they can just grab that population and keep them happy, they're great. You're going to keep them happy by having events with skins, having a reason why you're going to be playing and earning some in-game credits. You can't just give everything behind the cash shop, otherwise even the whales don't like that. Because I just buy everything from the cash shop and I'm not actually playing the game. That sucks. So you got to have events with skins that are locked behind the events, that's the only way to get them. And rewards like that's the only way to get them. It's because people only want new stuff. Yeah, people do only want new stuff. What are we looking at here? Okie dokie. You are going to die first, and congratulations, you are now my new NOS target. Mr. Rock, are you... Yeah, I've got a rock and a raven. This rock, that moa. Am I on the right rock? No. Okay. So let's test this out. I am not killing the right target, so these guys are going to have me neuted, or I'm sorry, nosed a little bit longer. We're going to take a look and see how it performs in a very bad scenario if I target the wrong things. Missile range is 27.7 km right now, by the way. Luckily, all of these guys are within the missile range. Alright, let me catch up on chat real quick. I used to say I will never buy a skin in game. How very wrong I was. I don't want to work out how much I spend across games. Yeah, I was in the same boat when I was younger. I'm like, man, skins are pointless. I'll never buy that. Then I think I had some cool skins come out in one of the games that I was playing, and I'm like, I can't pass that up. It's only $20. I'm gonna get it. And it was all downhill from there. Now I have all the skin packs. I think I got really bad with what was the game called? Yeah, I don't like the way this looks. So this is a wave of 15, right? I should be able to tank 15 with one booster. I'm dropping down to 63 right now. See, that guy's now 30 km out of range. That means my rapids here aren't doing diddly to him. So let's switch the rapids over to this guy. So this is an issue. So if I'm already suffering this much damage with 15 ships, when I get to the over 30 ships, we're really going to have to pick our targets wisely. If we're going to want to survive. It's going to be rough to survive. Yeah, I'm going to have to activate both shields. And because of the range here, we also have that second problem. They have the disruptors on us making our missile range 27 km. So I have only 27 km to work with, and this pith rock just got out to 34. So a lot of our damage is being neuted on the one guy that we actually need to kill. He's got the... Well, no, this isn't even the guy that we need to kill, is it? I targeted the wrong one. Well, he's going to die now. I mean, it's going to stabilize. We'll be fine for this one. But this is still half the ships that we're going to have to deal with in the last wave, and none of these are elites. And we're having issues. So, color me not too confident. Yeah, I'm not very very confident that this is going to be able to do it. Okay, so what's our next target going to be here? We need to get our missile range back as fast as possible if we're going to be able to kill anything. So we have him rock. We do have an elite here. Oh, cool. I stand corrected. So then our next important target is going to be this NOS. We got him. Okay, let's focus fire this guy. He is problematic because he has that other NOS on us. So we want to get our energy back if we can. Yeah, so let's get these on a new target. We're actually going to put those on the elite, and that should help out tremendously. Boom, boom. Excellent. Yeah, we drained that poor little ship into the ground. So yeah, we do got some elites. So I stand corrected. I apologize. So we are dealing with it, and it is tanking quite well, I guess, for having some elites on here, especially since we're letting this elite Raven. Let's see if that elite Raven's actually hurting us. Elite Pith Condor, elite Raven. Yeah, he's got us targeted, so he's firing on us. Let's see here. Someone call Kenny Loggins. This dummy's in the danger zone. Maybe CZ its face tank build. Reason why it's not surviving as well. It's better to split the NOS on 2 different targets, preferably larger ships. Yeah, let's do that. Let's turn off one of these guys here. I mean, we're already starting to gain up some here. One of the things with the NOS is we have to be higher than they are, and I honestly don't know how that works with the rats after the changes. So I have no way of really knowing how much cap they're actually using. But it does look like we are pretty stable here at that 50% as long as we've got some nice targets targeted with it. When we have it on the frigates, it's really just to get it on something and start draining the power until I need to move those over. And just like you see here, whenever the going gets tough, we move those over to bigger ships that are going to be closer to us. You lost a Macarial? You quit? Oof. You didn't have insurance on that bad boy? That's one of the reasons why my Macarial rarely leaves high sec. And that's because I have not purchased the insurance for it just yet. It's still training up the skills, though. Try to NOS the ship with no E-War. It usually gives the best cap. Okay. So, I still don't really want to mess with those guys. This Ferox here, we'll hit you as well. You can get the Mac back via insurance. It's not going to be cheap, though. Can you use insurance if you didn't purchase it ahead of time? Never actually cashed in on mine, so I don't know. Elite Alteron Interceptor, 0 chance of hitting it even with a Predator, Web, and Scrambler? Really? Were you actually fighting a person, or was it... Oh, Elite, so it was not a person, it was in a mission. Huh. Sweet poison? Got it. When I go to a disrupt encounter, I tend to carry an aura just in case. I actually used quite a few auras in my day. Alright, let's take out this this big boy. It's time to remove the elite from the equation. So as we can see here, with the 15, I guess this is the last wave of the first encounter. So even with the elites and everything, the tank does hold strong. Like, there was never any real threat here. However, it did require the full tank. And this does make me a little bit concerned for the 30 wave on the last mission. I don't know if we're going to be able to clear out some of this stuff fast enough in order to survive. But I do believe that this still would be a great brawler build. You wouldn't want to really sit at 0, maybe sit a little bit away from 0, actually move around. It would do just fine, especially with the different ranges that it has available to it. You can pull away some of the elites, take them out in smaller packs, not have everything all around you. And this ship would probably do just fine for a semi-AFK brawler fit. You know, read your ebooks, play another game, look back every so often. But I do think that we're going to see a pop at 0 on the 30 wave. You can insure it afterwards, Savant, but it's even more expensive than doing it before. Ouch. 55454, large cannon skills. Nice. So, Soof, what happened? Did you end up spawning the last wave too close and didn't have any trajectory so you could get those small ships dead first? Because I know that's happened to me a couple of times. Back when I used my Harbinger, I used to do missions, and sometimes I wouldn't be paying attention and I'd be a little bit too close. And I actually have one of my videos where I lost my Harbinger because that happened. I thought I did the last wave and I had one more wave, so I was too close and everything got around me and I couldn't do anything. I think you're right about the last wave. She might not get through it. Again, though, massive respect and appreciation for doing this. You're doing God's work, my man. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Again, I do think that this could survive the last wave, and I think it would still be pretty effective at doing so. I just don't think it's going to survive the last wave sitting at 0. We are still at 0, right? We didn't move over to 1? I hate it when that happens. Nope, we're still at 0, so we're good. So first wave, we know it can definitely handle at 0. We're actually down to 1 shield booster now, and everything is just fine. Yeah, this elite, let's see how long it's taking us to kill this elite. If we had an elite like this when we had 30 ships and we're trying to get through this because it's one of the ones that has us nosed, it'd be draining our cap. And we can't kill it quick enough for all those other ships. It's going to be challenging. I'm going to have to look. Try to think of what my targeting order is going to be. That's my biggest concern right now for that last wave. Do I want to actually target the bigger ships first, or do I want to take out the smaller ships? I think I'm leaning more towards the smaller ships right now after seeing how long it's taking to take out this elite. Because if I can remove the smaller ships' guidance disruptors and Gnosis off of the table, I don't care about the webs, I don't care about the disruptors. But if we could get a majority of that done first, then I can start working on the bigger ships. It's really going to improve our range, because they're going to be, you know, nerfing our range into the ground. And I think that's the way to go. But what do you guys think? problem was I got webbed by 4 ships and couldn't get range to track. Oof. If you had a brother with webs, probably wouldn't have lost it. It was my fault. I should have cleared cruisers, but I didn't. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen, especially if I get comfortable with doing a mission. I'll tend to slack off, and I make mistakes, and I lose ships. And it's happened to the best of us. It sucks when it happens. It really sucks when it happens on a 10 billion-isk ship. Alright. So yeah, this is down to everything, you know, just to clean up here. We've got nothing really left. We do have that elite pithy condor too, but I don't care about him. You should come back, cause you know what to do. You know what not to do. I kamikaze my 96 kills tornado after all. Ugh. Hey, we still got a rock out there. Can you smell what the rock? Yeah, I think you're right. I'm expecting her to sadly explode later in the mission. I could confirm this ship can solo all T-10 stories via range tanking. It can be done that way, but this is interesting. Oh yeah, Dominix is a pro at range tanking. One of the best. I mean, 100 km, you could use all sorts of things. You can have sentries out there. Sentries are amazing at that range. You can have all of your smaller drones. You can take out the frigates. You can. It's so effective. And if you have all of the different drone types, you could put out whatever drone that you need for the situation. And it has a huge drone base, so it's just able to do that really well. Like, it really is one of the kings of PvE, next to the Rattlesnake. It's basically, it is the cheaper version, and when I say cheaper, I'm using that a little bit loosely because I know all of the rigs and everything for it have exploded in value. Floating Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, we got 2 of them there. There's him and his twin brother, Rock and Rock. It's a tag team duo. Now, what is very interesting though is, again, we're sitting here in a Dominix, and it does have a tanky boy tank on it, but it's able to hold its own, definitely. So, killing a little bit slow, don't get me wrong, but I also do think too, because we did get down to a little bit below half for one of the sections there, but we could have probably, if we had a little bit more damage stuff on here, foregone some of the tank. I don't know about that though, because in order for this to work, it needs to be stable. As we've seen, if I wasn't cap stable, I'd have probably been out of cap by now. So that's going to take some... I wonder if we could actually lower the tank a little bit to add more damage, and based off of killing the things faster, we need less tank. If you understand what I'm trying to say there. I know I was a little bit all over the place. But sometimes if you can kill things faster, you don't need to be as tanky, is to sum it up, basically. We got that rock sitting out at 40 km. Our missiles can't hit that boy. So, we are actually going to take him out first. And what is going on with my missiles? There. Okay, we got some split damage. Oh, did I leave one? I have one medium drone out. Oh well. A good defense is a great offense. Yes, I mean, I would not disagree with that statement until your great offense can't kill the 100 ships. So there's a fine line between a great offense and having some defense too, but getting that line right That's the tricky part. Is the Tempest good? I always get the Tempest mixed up with the Typhoon, so that's why I'm going to look. It's the battleship, right? Yeah, this is the cannon battleship. It doesn't have a lot going on for it, does it? I don't know. Good morning, Valkyrie. I don't know if the Tempest it's not bad, but it doesn't have a lot. It literally only has those 2 bonuses. There's so many ships that have way more bang for their buck when it comes to actual passive bonuses that it gets from your skill training than the Tempest. I don't like the bonuses that it's getting. I think it needs more. But is it bad? Probably not. I mean, cannons are in a great spot, so you could probably put some autocannons on there and treat it as a budget Macarial. It's not going to do the long range nearly as well. You can still snipe at 100 km with the larges. You could do that with any ship with the larges, though, that uses them, because it doesn't get any bonus to the range. That's what I was looking at there. Why did I go to inventory? I wanted to go to market. Yeah, because the Tempest gets, you have the 5% large cannon damage and minus 4% cannon activation time. Nothing to tracking. So that's a bit weak. But here, if you look at the battle cruisers and we go to the Tornado 2, the Tornado 2 is going to have that large cannon activation time, accuracy fall off, so it's probably going to do a little bit less damage, but with this accuracy fall off, it can reach out and hit a lot further out if that's what you were going for, was the long range fit. Just my opinion on that one, though. Am I late? Well, I'm doing something a little bit different today. So, I'm actually, the videos that I was doing where I was sitting at 0, I had a request to take a look at the Dominix and see if a Dominix fit could do this at 0, so I figured with today's live stream I was going to go ahead and do that. I started a little bit earlier than normal because I have some plans later this afternoon. So I figured instead of waiting around and doing that I would try this out. So this is the end of the first wave here. I think it's the end of the first wave. There might be another round. I've never been good at remembering how many waves there are per encounter. Hence why I tend to lose ships. I quit, but I want to play. Yeah, I actually, when I first started, I was playing the game for maybe a month, and I was still flying a, what was it called? I can't even remember. It was back when I did missiles and everything. Caracal. So I was in my Caracal, and I just got my Navy issue Caracal, and I had been using it for about a week. And at that time, I was actually doing Sweet Poison in the Caracal.
Autopilot engaged.
And basically, I was using a long-range fit with the medium missiles, and I say long-range, but I was at like 50 km, right? So I was able to do the Sweet Poison. It did take me forever to actually do, but I would just sit back and basically speed tank all of the ships and shoot them with the missiles, and I'd have to warp out and everything. And this is, again, back before they did the change to the rats, where they made the rats insane and whatnot. So, real early. And I saw somebody posted a video about doing Sweet Poison with it using the medium rapids. And they're like, oh yeah, it's no problem, you can do that. So I outfit some medium rapids on mine, and I was like, oh, I'll give this a shot. Went in there, got blowed up. And it was like 60 million for that ship, and then I couldn't finish the mission. I had no money, I had no way to get my ship back, and so I literally stopped playing for probably 2 weeks. I was like, man, I'm done with this game. And unfortunately, all I could do was think about the game at the time, so I was like, man, I want to come back and play. So yeah, it wasn't too long, and I actually I rage quit. I uninstalled the game off my phone and everything. I was done. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I reinstalled it and started playing again. Yeah, that was a rough time. Slowly working on getting IP and get your Mac back, and you'll be able to BK to gold. Or play Space Legos vicariously through this awesome creator. If you can, a 30-day insurance timer. So there's a timer on the insurance. I didn't know that either. Yeah, I have 250 million ISK. I need a lot more, and one ship I have if I lose. With your tornado, you should be able to do encounters easy. Easy, but slower. I mean, I don't see why they're... Yeah, basically the way that I did a lot of my encounters, I was using the Oracle for a very, very long time. And the Oracle, even with its range, I think was like 72 km optimal. And I could get up with my tracking computers up to like 150, but it was very temporary. And it was very slow going, but what I could do was actually warp into the T10 encounters, and I would move away to that 250 km spot, and I would pull a bunch of the ships in, basically waiting. And as long as I played with the boundary line there was no chance I was ever going to die. It's like, oh, but they've got 32 little ships with micro warp drives. That's fine and dandy, but they're all going to warp back as soon as they hit this point. So that's how I did all that stuff for a while. And now they warp back. Before they just flew back, so that made it even better. Yes, I did a few missions with it. May I ask Corp to help finish it? Test server. Yes, I am on the test server.
Drive active.
I lost a Condor too, and I quit for a month. Famous Brendan killed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you've truly played Eve Echoes until you've had a rage quit moment when you're just like, oh! But then you always want to come back. That's one of the reasons why I knew I really wanted to do more with this game, is even after I rage quit, I was like, just compelled to come back, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I really do enjoy this game. Very long time to kill ships. Yeah, it doesn't make money nearly as quick, but it's very, very safe. And effective. Not the funnest playstyle, though.
Warp drive active.
Why am I jumping again? Oh yeah, so I could talk to you guys. So I've got things that I could do to go places, but I can't show you guys that. So I have to be careful what I show and do not show on here. Normal travel I can show. I had a few rage quits too. Yeah, I think everyone has. I lost my Harbinger in that mission. I think that was the calmest I'd ever been on video, but I was only calm on video. As soon as I turned off the recording, I think I was cussing up a storm.
Warp drive active.
I feel ashamed that you lost 10 bill to PvE? I wouldn't feel ashamed with that. Bad things can happen in this game. And if PvE was basically a guaranteed never going to lose a ship, then I don't think it would be fun. I mean, it would, if there is absolutely positively no risk, even if the risk is very small, like there's only like a 2% chance that you're going to lose, and basically the stars have to align, you have to screw up in such a way, there's still that chance there. Things can kill you. Where if you don't even have that, then there's no reason to aim for that power level. It's like, oh, well, I could just slow boat through everything and be okay. So I think having that little bit of fear there is definitely, it makes you having the big powerful ships worthwhile. You're like, hey, I got this thing, I can do this, I can clear it with basically a 99% effectiveness. Stars gotta align for me to lose it, but you still have that threat that I can lose it. Hurricane via bug, hurricane via mistake, and hound twice in 3 days. I lost my breacher assault to cops. Space police got me. That was probably my dumbest loss. First mission after patch, I lost the ship to the ninja updated rats. Yeah, the updated rats got me too. I forgot what I lost with it, but I did lose something. I don't... It's not on this character, so I can't look. I was gonna look, but I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't my live character. So, guys, I'm gonna have to hide you guys for a second. Hold on just a moment. There we go. So, doing stuff. Oh, welcome back. We just jumped 23 jumps. It took forever. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to put you on a break there while I did that. Whew, but we're finally here. So, yeah, I mean, man, that was, took forever to get here. Okay. But we made it. So, yeah. Didn't know Dominix they actually have a special warp engine that you can use, and you can do 23 jumps if you stop and then go at the right moment. It's shenanigans, really. Public test servers for the win. Alright, but before we do start this, I am going to go ahead and grab me a new drink real quick, and I need to use the restroom, so I will be right back in just a moment. have returned. Got my new drink. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Oof, 23 jumps. Oh man, chat went too far. Let's see. It's off my screen. I now imagine the NPCs as having to play a card shuffle game for fits. Yeah, the hound was... Please do. I killed someone, immediately warped to station low sec. Yup. Time really sped up. How did you do 23 jumps in 10 seconds? Test server stuff. Yes, test server. It's magic. The Space Potato Pocket Dimension. Secret wormhole. Yeah. Time machine to get the ship back would be really cool. Ah, well, on the test server you have time machines. The SPUD, Space Potato Universe Divider. If you lost it before the 24th of last month, you could have it repair free via the ship recovery. Yeah, that is no longer available, sadly. They said we need to spend money on Plex. Ah, just spent 3 billion ISK on insured my material. Damn worth it. Yeah, that's, again, I've said this before, I will say it again. One of the reasons why my carrier sits in high sec right now is I am still skill training with it, so it's not quite ready to go out, and I don't have the insurance on it. Once I do, I'm saving up. I've got 1 billion already saved. I need to get like 3-4 billion to get the insurance on it. So once I get the insurance on there, I'll be way more confident to take it out, especially whenever we do the group missions. But for now, whenever I do group missions, I take out my main account. Got to deal with the fully insured apocalypse. Alright, let's get this started. Bad Hair Day 2. Warp to 0. Let's get these things turned on. And let's do this.
Warp drive active.
So I've been invited by some of my friends to play in a D&D podcast type thing. And so today I have plans to go into the Discord with them, and we're going to be working out character creation, and it's all going to be recorded and whatnot. I don't know when or how he's going to be releasing it, but I think it's going to be a really fun thing to participate in. So I'm excited for that. I'll be doing that this afternoon. Okay. So step 1, we are not at 0, so let's get to 0. Slowly mining up a Vindy for groups. Finally got large hybrids 5050. Nice. We're going to take you out first. Please drones, do the thing. And double check my shields, they are all on. And we're good. We can go back to just chatting and killing for a little while until the elites spawn. Make sure you swap the medium drone out for a large, unless that was intentional and I missed it. It was not intentional, it is a lot to do with laziness. Alright, so you, come back. Oh, you're in space. Alright, so you, return. Let's activate you. Let's focus you down. Really, I want you to do that thing where you return. I know I hit the other button, but I didn't mean to. Here, come out. Okay. Go get him. Good. Okay. I've been buying IP every now and then, and when I have the ISK that I won't use, so when I get a big ship I'll have more than insured. Yeah, where I'm sitting at right now, I don't really have anything that I want to purchase. So every point of ISK that I make is just going to save up for the Materials insurance. As soon as I get the material insured, then I'm going to be going back into saving mode for when T10 hits, because there's some T10 ships that I really want to get purchased. So I want to start saving up to have the stuff to be able to outfit those and get those done as soon as day one hits on that. Low sec gate camp is kamikazes, so it's highly unlikely you'll lose anything. By the way, I'm a high sec Care Bear. For the case of bad luck and running into a low sec gate camp, I feel much safer with 14k insurance points on my side. Yeah, with the low sec gate camps, there are quite a few of them. Normally they are going to target the faction battleships. So if you're in a regular battleship, probably don't have too much to worry about. Faction battleships, I would definitely say have the insurance on there because you are their primary target. And if they're not getting very many faction battleships, a battleship will become their target just so they can have a bit of fun. That's really cool. I've always wanted to play D&D, but I have never had a group of friends interested. Yeah, when I was young, back when I was 11, 12, I first started going down to a comic shop that was within walking distance of my house next to the grocery store where I lived. And I would buy comic books and everything, and that's where I first ran into people playing D&D. I had no clue what it was at the time. And so I actually started going up there on the weekends and hanging out and playing. I'm trying to get this to zoom out, but my controls are being horrible. And I started playing then, and those guys since then, that was, what, 20 years ago? Those guys since then have all moved across the states, all have different lives and everything now, but we still try to get together and play some D&D from time to time on Discord. So we do Discord games. And my friend Ian, he's putting this one together, and he just got a whole recording studio set up, and he really wants to do kind of like what the, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the D&D podcasts and things like that. He wants to put something together like that, and he asked me if I would join. And I said, I will give it a shot. I have a lot to do, so I don't know if I'll be able to actually make it. Timing is a big issue. But today I was okay. I was like, yeah, I can get together with you at 1. We can make some characters. We can see how it's going to go and figure something out. It's going to be a break from the norm, and I think it's going to be a real good time to hang out with everybody and have some laughs. Hi bud, can I see your fit real quick and resistances? You sure can. Am I the only one who thinks the Dominic is way better than Rattlesnake because it's more flexible? Also, you running T10 stories? Unlikely, but never 0. Okay, so today I am not running T10 stories with groups. I'm actually doing the at 0 stuff today. And the reason is I had to start a bit earlier than I normally do because I have plans this afternoon. And I had a request to check out the Dominix, so I figured I would go ahead and do this on the test server, have a bit of fun. Now, as far as the second part there, we want to see what the fit looks like. So in the high slots, we have 4 Pith C-type large rapid missile launchers that are bringing 386.10 DPS. Right now, because of all of the... It normally has about 37 km range. We're sitting at 34 right now because of the disruption. We're running 2 Vicarlocus large energy Nosferatus. That is going to be helping us keep cap stable. I have Mark 9 Ogres, a full array of those, and I also have Mark 9 Vespas. We have a Predator Stasis Weber. Hold on, I need to check over here real quick. We're still looking good. Yeah, everything is fine. We're about to have to change targets though, so give me just a second. I'll go back and take a look at the rest of the fit there. Excellent. Let's move over to the next Raven. Activate both of those. Alright, we're good. We can go back into the fitting. So here, and the low slots, we're actually running 2 Pith C-type large shield boosters. We have 3 of the Gist C-type adaptive invulnerability fields, and 1 Pith C-type reactive shield hardener. The rigs, we have 1 core defense charge economizer for more shield boost, and I had to put in 2 core defense capacitor safeguards for the cap adjustment, just to make this thing cap stable to be able to sit at 0. For the engineering rigs, we have 2 semiconductor memory cells and 1 capacitor control circuit. Capacitor is currently stable if we are running the Nosferatus. Our defense, we're looking at for our shield tank, we have 171,534 effective hit points with EM of 73, thermal 79, kinetic 85, and explosive 85. Alright. The only issue with tabletop is the hours it takes to talk your way past the tutorial. It's super fun, especially one-shot campaigns. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I know the game that he has planned is going to be kind of like Mortal Kombat. He wants to do a big combat tournament, and we're all going to be playing a character that's in this tournament, and basically each one of us are going to have a little bit of a storyline. There's going to be some role-playing about the event and everything, but then we're going to end up fighting each other, and people are eventually going to be out whenever they get murdered and stuff like that, and it's going to get down, and eventually there's going to be a champion. So it's going to be a short little game session, and maybe over the course of you know, X amount of time, depending on how many players we have, and eventually there's going to be a winner. So I think it's going to be pretty fun, a pretty cool little one-off thing. Someone got a good build from Moa 2 Guardian. Critical Role is a great cast. I do agree. Why not change one of your shield boosters with a damage mod? Because I don't even think with this amount of shield boosters I'll be able to sit at 0 and survive. Thank you, appreciated. No problem. You can place one adapter with a shield extender or a drone damage amplifier. The penalty makes the third one useless. That is an interesting fit. I would have to try that out. So yeah, there's a lot of talk about the fit on the ship and everything. I've already started with this one. It was basically the fit that was suggested with a couple of modifications. So yeah, anything to make it better, it might be able to survive, but if we take one of those out and put in a shield extender, yeah, a shield extender might actually be good, to be honest. Because again, I'm pretty sure that once we get to the last wave, we're going to be in trouble. That's my prediction. And so thinking about ways to make that tankier, yeah, I like that idea actually. 2 reds, 1 yellow is greater than 3 reds. But is it greater than 3 reds and 1 yellow? Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I don't know if he did that because of the new movie coming out or whatnot, but I still think it's going to be fun to basically roleplay that. So I am looking forward to it. We could probably turn that off and get our energy back a little bit more. But yeah, now that we've been talking about it and you guys have mentioned it in there, I do think a shield extender probably would have been better than the third hardener. I don't know if it would remain cap stable. That's something I would have to take a look at. But a shield extender is going to give us a huge boost to the shields, especially for when we initially get hit on that last wave. I really like that idea. Wish I would have put that on there ahead of time. Because one of the big issues with the ship is it kills slowly. It has very low DPS. And so that shield extender would definitely probably mitigate that some. Oh, I'm kicking myself now. That's a really good idea. Yeah, because the third's useless due to the penalty. Because, I mean, check it out. Why we're here safe. Right now, our defense is 74, 78, 84, 85. Boop. It's off. Uh, 67, 72, 80, 81. So it still is adding a bit on there, but is that bit worth the loss of having an extender that would just give us flat out more HP? I don't know. As cap stable, maybe not, or barely stable. Yeah, it would really depend if it still remained cap stable. I think if it still remained cap stable, that would be better. If it takes it from to not being cap stable because the ship kills so slow, I don't know if that would be better, because yeah, you would survive a little bit, but if you run out of cap, you're screwed. Do 42,359 or 55.07. You know that 0.07 of a ticket? That's the one that you really have to worry about. 42,355 tickets is ridiculous. One plex is 7 IP. Huh. I'm not so bad at the maths, but I'm not going to try to do math live, especially in my head. Let's have a look here. A large drones versus a frigate again. So here's the thing. I could swap these out for the medium drones, but by the time I swap them out for the medium drones, get the medium drones retargeted and shoot the ship, did I really save any time? Let me answer that. The answer is probably going to be yes. Look how long this thing's taken to die. Yeah. They can't hit this thing. Poor ogres. You guys are bad at hitting those little guys. Okay. Wave dose. Well, we're going to go ahead and lock you up. And we are going to lock you up. And we are going to lock you and lock you. Those are the ships that we want dead. First things first, we're going to take out this MOA. Okay. And do 6,000 plex roughly. 6,000? Isn't like 3,000 plex $50? And that's why you should buy the IP before you lose the ship. 6,142 plex. That'll put a hole in your pocket. Bust out that Visa Black. Focus fire on you next. Berserker Mimitar large drones might fare better. They have the best tracking for large, I think. Ogres sadly have the slowest tracking. I would definitely agree with you. I tried to actually make some Berserkers. I do have them in my inventory. Unfortunately, it requires a material that I don't know how to get on the test server. So that's why I actually haven't made any Berserkers. They were one of my first choices for drones, but the way that they have it set up, which I'm not allowed to go into, they can be gotten, but I'll have to... It's going to take me some time to look into it and probably go get the materials myself legitly in-game in order to make them. And who has time to do stuff legitly on a server where I can magically, you know, teleport 23 jumps? So that's the only reason why I don't actually have those. So I think I will. I'm probably going to go get the stuff that I need to make them. It's needed. And also I like the thought that the shield extender, I agree, I think that would be better if the cap is still stable. Yeah, a shield extender, yeah, after looking at this, I don't know why I didn't even consider that when I was looking at everything. because especially since we're spending so much time in here, you're going to get to use that shield extender over and over again, and all that damage that it can mitigate. That's going to be, I mean, that would be amazing. That's why you should avoid faction ships altogether, but I like my faction ships. The speed of the large drones still gimps their tracking. Yeah. First rule of EVE is still don't fly what you can't replace. That has always been the first rule. Since EVE Online, don't fly what you can't afford. Hence why I have ships that sit in dock. So we have 11 ships on screen here, and our tank is struggling a little bit. Don't like that. Raven gone. This rock is what we want. Next, while we're waiting on that rock, let's go ahead and take out this cormorant. Yeah, let's zoom back out. I keep getting zoomed in. I guess it's because I keep trying to click on the ship to show stuff. Okay. You can blame me for the 3 reds, mate. I should have thought of that too. I've taken you down to start that dark road. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not a sad road. We'll get to see a glorious explosion at the very worst, and it didn't cost me anything. So that's definitely going to be fun. And if it does pull it off, it's going to be the underdog pull off of the day. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see that if it happens. Okay. Let's get rid of this Moa next, just because we can. The extender will also enable you not to use the booster, giving you a rest time to replenish your cap. Yes, yeah. I used an extender on my Harbinger, and again, that's why I said I can't believe I didn't even consider it when I was looking at this, and I should have considered that. Should have definitely considered that. I do like shield extenders. Well, on my Harbinger I use a armor extender, but I do missions soon after patch. Rats got overpowered. You say that the rats got OP, I say they got balanced after the player power creep. Still not even their final form, more power incoming. Yes, so a couple of things, my thoughts on that. Whenever they did the initial changes, I did like the changes. I do like my PvE rats to be more difficult, to require new stuff, just because I'm more of a PvE focused person, and I do like my fights to be engaging. So I enjoy harder rats. I can understand though that a lot of people wouldn't enjoy harder rats because they're not necessarily in the same spot. And for people who are up and coming and just trying to get a feel for different things, or were used to making money a specific way and then all of a sudden their income dried up, or they lost their ships because of it, I think that was a little crazy. Now, I do think that they should have 2 styles of missions. I think you should have a more challenging one that may even have elites and stuff like that in the normal missions. So you'll have, like, instead of just like normal, regular, hard, you would have your normal, regular, hard, but then you would have like also like a challenge level. So you can put it on like challenge level star 1 or star 2 or star 3, and depending on how you do that, it's going to add more elites and different varieties of ships in there. So for people who actually want to experience more of a challenge, they would be able to. And so I think if you have all of those options together, you would have the ability to do the weakest level, which is basically just sit there and AFK it. And if you sit there and AFK it, that's fine, but you're going to get the least amount of rewards. And then the harder up that you go, you can get more rewards. The mission reward price stays the same. However, by killing the elites and stuff that are in the mission, you're obviously going to get elite drops possibly off of it, and the more bounties from the harder ships. And I think that would be a fair way to actually even it out, and you only have to do it if you chose to do that difficulty. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter. I think let everybody have what they want. If you want people to just AFK through missions, that's still available. Go ahead and do it. We have the old style missions in there. Go ahead and pick them up, do what you want. But you also have the option to do the new style missions as well. Rats got stronger. I guess it's more like they got fixed. After all, before the patch, you could have rats without weapons at all. True? They still do, but they're logistics specific, so it's more realistic. Yeah, challenge level idea. I mean, I think again, a lot of people I think overcomplicate it when they try to think of fixes, and you don't need to do that. Just keep it simple. Put in weaker stuff for people who want to do weaker stuff. Put in harder stuff for people that want to do harder stuff. Make it all available. People can choose what they want to do and what content is best for them. That's how you keep everyone happy. I probably need to activate those. Right, I wish the reputation system was in Echoes. Then you could escalate on you percentage based on how your standing was. I agree. I think that's one thing that's really missing, and also helping people spread around. If you had different contacts like you did in EVE Online, that you had to go to specific space stations to pick up your missions, and then you got faction points with them, and then they let you have the harder missions that way, you could grow your factions. If you destroy Mimitar ships, Mimitar guys get mad at you, so you can do less of their missions if you want to build up those. I enjoyed that system immensely, and I think it would be fantastic to have brought over here. Also, it would make people who actually got Mimitar missions books, it would make them worth something more because they had to have the faction with it as well in order to do that. Same thing vice versa with Caldari and stuff like that. I think it would be very, very cool to have something like that in there, and then have your faction mean something. Like, for example, have an actual faction manufacturing. Like for the high-end C-type stuff. Maybe you can actually earn some blueprints if you get higher enough that it will actually make you be able to make the C-type Federation stuff if you're actually getting enough faction with the Federation guys. Again, having like the Navy issue ships. Oh, you can make a Caldari Navy issue Caracal, but you actually have to be in goods with Caldari in order to get the blueprint to do it. Or buy it off of somebody from the market. I just think there's a lot of cool things that can be done with that. Change difficulty and reward accordingly. And to be honest, you don't need to make money from the encounters. Turn them back to the easiest mode and just collect story missions to sell, and you will still make hundreds of millions. It's true. That guy is 40 km away from us. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off you, and we're going to have you guys go out there. Go get them. You can do it. And we're going to use our missiles on the little guys that are close. Cool. If you can't do TH, you can still get the books from all the weaker tiers. Sell price of the books is the same. Yes, it is. However, I did it again. That's something that I've actually, I don't like either. And hear me out before you go all crazy. I know it's how lower level people make money, but I think just like the regular story encounters, I think the book should have level grades as well. Not only do I think it would be effective at helping people progress through the game, I think it would encourage a lot more play. And what I mean by that is, I think if you're on, you know, the first tier difficulty, you can do all the missions, but they should escalate into a storyline. For example, Bad Hair Day that we're doing now. You would have a weaker version of Bad Hair Day, of like a preliminary, if you will. And it would give all of the newer players something to work towards to be able to do this end event that's actually accomplishable at their level, and can give them the rewards for doing just that. Now I know that's going to take away a lot of ISK from a lot of people's pockets, so you'd have to find a way to streamline that. So I mean, but that's just where we got to now based off of the progression of the game. I also think if you moved it up to a harder difficulty, each one of those difficulties should have their version of the story, in my opinion. So there'd be a lot more different levels of the stories that can be done as well. Encounters are mostly AFK up to T8. Won't do story missions, and I'm not playing, especially if I don't enjoy PvP, right? Though on that same note, I do wish they'd unlock all difficulties and echoes as opposed to having to wait until T10 to choose to lose my ship. Exactly. So again, that comes into line with the stuff that we're talking about they did in EVE Online with the factions as well. So if you had faction reputation that you actually had to build up, let's web that guy. If you had faction reputation that you actually had to build up with the particular factions in order to even get those books, so that could kind of streamline that. So if you're not a T8 person, they're not going to give you a T8 mission. You haven't built up the faction to do so with them as of yet. I mean, again, there's a ton of different interesting things that they could do to spread out all of this stuff and just make the game more engaging. You would want to go build up your faction. Like, let's say you have a bunch of friends or a corporation that's based out of a specific area of space, and you weren't for your entire career with Echoes. Now you may have to go out there and actually build up your faction with those guys in order to be able to do the missions and run out there effectively. There's some pros and cons to all of that, but there's going to be pros and cons to everything that you do. I just think having a more immersive universe, instead of there's basically two things you can do: story missions or go out and join Dead Space missions with, you know, the nullsec crowd. That's it. If you had more things in game to actually draw your time away from, like building up faction or going out over here because only these particular people will offer this mission, so you actually have to go to certain stations to pick up your missions, build your stuff up, go through the actual engaging story that'll tell you more about the faction that you're working with, open up more things. You actually get to know who your the people who are requesting the missions from you and their personalities and whatnot. I think there could be a lot more aspects of the game like that, and that I honestly don't think would be too hard to actually implement in a way that wouldn't screw over the game. But they have done what they've done. Imagine a frag or cruiser only BHD for the easy mission set. Be a great way to target site-specific faction modules. Precisely. I think that's also a very cool idea. Actually, the whole reputation grinding to get good missions in EVE Online was what turned me away from the game. And see, I can understand that too, especially if you're coming in the game at later date and you already have friends who are doing stuff. Why do you want to grind for X amount of time in order to get your faction up with a particular person? And that's where the mobile aspect of this game comes in. Mobile aspects meaning if you have faction or if you want to build faction with a ship, man, I wouldn't be opposed. I've already basically have the Plex in there, reputation packs or something where people can buy if they want to just cheese and get that. You're not hurting anybody by someone building up their reputation by charging them a reputation pack or anything like that. The game's already been out for a while. I would say in the beginning of a game, when a game is new, building up reputation, when everybody is on the same level having to do that, then yeah, no, don't sell packs or anything. But after the game's been out for so long, you just have people that are like just wanting to transition or something, then make something like that available. I don't know. Again, it's not perfect. I'm just spitballing ideas here. Okay, so now we are on another wave. Do we have any elites on this one? I do not see any elites. Let's lock up those guys. And perfect. Cool. Do I have everything locked that is energy absorbing me? And then next we want to... Okay, perfect. So we have everything locked up that's going to be disrupting us and nosing us. Those are going to be the important targets to take out first. And then we need to take out the larger damage dealing targets, and we should be fine. Let's get rid of this guy next, if we can. Let's have a look here. I'm still hoping that wormholes and abyssal space will offer more choices for high-sec dwellers. I am too. I think that would be fun. Not to say the rep, Michael, but like separate storyline missions according to your tech. Yeah, yeah. Doing T1 encounters and getting AOD is kind of dumb. Yeah. Hey, congratulations. You finished your story arc. Go die now. What, you're in a tier 4 Condor? You did all that work completing all these stories, and you're looking for something good to do now, and you think that you're gonna get there and be able to do the story mission? Nah, brah. You can't do that. But you can sell it for 300 million. And again, getting the ISK is nice, don't get me wrong, but I mean, if you're actually trying to enjoy the game and find something new to do, you just spent all this time getting your storybook, and you have a storybook that you're not going to be able to do anything with for a very long time. Except for make ISK off of it. I understand the burnout of being top tech and being set to Universal 0.0. That's just how the EVE Online implemented it, yeah. Packs and not LP in the stores isn't pay to win, since you have to do the missions to get the good stuff anyhow. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely, because I mean, one of the things you have to think about too whenever you are thinking about ways to improve the game or make changes, I mean, again, just spitballing ideas for fun, is it also has to be profitable. So how can they make money off of your idea as well? So if you have a change that you think is great, yeah, that might be great for the player base, and obviously more players is going to increase revenue right there, so that's a great place to start. But you also have to think about the angle of how can they make a dime off of this too. What are they going to be able to do in order to soak that money out of the peoples? What is the effect of hit points on this Domi? Right now we are sitting at 168,756. This does fluctuate. So I've seen it up to 173. It really depends on what is shooting me, because I do have that this bad boy here that changes the resistances on this ship from time to time based off of what's getting hit. Well, that guy doing T1 encounters will still be happy to get the 150 mil from selling each AOD. Again, I 100% agree. Like I said, that's the state of the game we're currently in right now, that now people are used to being able to get that huge cash infusion at early levels from doing that. So do you take that away from them? No. Let them have their money. Let them have the ISK. But at the same token, it's still, as far as gameplay goes, I don't think a really fun mechanic to do all this work to open up a new storyline mission, which they're supposed to be storyline missions. Believe it or not, there are people who actually enjoy storytelling in games and don't just want to sit there and make the best ISK per hour and things like that. So they might have been following it around, and then to be able to not do the end-tier storyline mission that they worked so hard to get just kind of feels like a slap in the face at some cases. Now, you know what makes that slap in the face feel a whole lot better? 100+ million ISK when you're that level. But at the same token, I still think that you should have more gameplay options to encourage different stuff like that. That corn passing by just like a centipede crawling on the screen. Yeah, just chilling. Yeah, we're not into the danger zone yet. This one actually had 15 ships on it, and the tank did handle very well, but there's no elites. So again, it went through the first encounter. It was just fine. It had a little bit of problems. I have my concerns about it being able to take on the last wave sitting here at 0 for the 30 plus ships. I do have my concerns, but that's what we're here to find out. We're either going to see if it can do it, or we're going to see a glorious explosion. So one or the other, it's going to happen. Would also solve the possible bot mission grind of low-level clones made to farm AOD. True? They would have to work on it as a main if they were to do tier 8 researchable. There's a story in Echoes? Yeah. Yeah, there is a very loose story. That's another big complaint I have about the events. They put the time into these events, and they try to create these general ideas, but there's not much depth to them, and that kind of irritates me. I mean, even just put a passable story in there, just something. Like, why are we doing this? Oh, we're doing this because X, Y, and Z. And, you know, have a beginning, a middle, and an end, a conclusion to your story. Actually have the missions that you get from these explain more. They did the Valentine's Day event, and they had a bit of a story in there if you actually took the time to read it and everything. But again, the story was okay, but it felt like it was just okay. Well, that's it. Where they had a big opportunity to have all of the Valentine's Day quests and stuff have a little bit more parts to the story and have a big overarching story and everything, which would have been cool. Little opportunities I think they missed on. Do I think it's bad or good? I mean, it depends. If you like story, then, and you're like me, you consider that just a missed opportunity. But is it going to affect most people? Probably not. We can look away as you change one adapter to an extender. Well, I'll have to think about that one. I do have a station here. Massive props to the Logi Rats keeping that condor alive. Use your heroes, ratty community. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that condor was, we definitely won't be attacking condors first in the last wave, let's just say that. I could go change it up, I really could, but I don't think I'm gonna. This is what we started with, this is what we're gonna end with. Well, hello, guys. You guys were turned off. So, for better or for worse, this is what we're gonna do, and just know that that shield extender is probably the way I would have gone. Ah, we're starting to get all the trash around us. All of the loot containers. Yeah, the big thing that I see here is just, again, we're sitting on this pith rock, the tier 10 rock over here. And even with our full damage applying to this guy, we're not killing him very quickly. So whenever we do get to the elites on that third wave, it's just going to be, or fourth wave, I don't remember. It's going to be rough. I think we have 2 big waves on this one. Our next wave is going to be the first one. And that one has 22 ships, if I recall. So, we'll see. That wave is going to be the biggest test. And we're going to have elites in there as well. So... okay. Let's lock up this guy. Take out the Raven. Dude, tractor beams are awesome. There's going to be a lot of ships that are going to put a lot of good use to tractor beams. I can't wait to see how they implement capital modules. I'm hoping we get the support items first. Booster burners and batteries. Yeah. Caps and super caps. There's going to be a lot of that stuff going on, but we haven't even gotten to T10 yet. Do you think they're going to do that anytime soon? Maybe. Happy for you to swap to an extender, bro. The 3 reds was a poor choice by me. I think we already predicted certain doom for this beautiful potato you have here today. Crowdsourcing the fit live like this is genius. I'll leave it up to you, my dude. Well, it's too late. It's already been set in stone. So we know that most likely we're going to use the extender would be better in this situation. But we're going to find out here today, live, if the 3 extenders will work, because there is something to be said about the extenders. Now, they're not giving you much more, but the higher your percentage gets on your resistance, the more effective that percentage is. See, we're up to 175,000 defense now. And so the higher resistances, there's something to be said about that. And we're going to find out here today. We're going to learn today. Fighters are capped, so hopefully. I'm still a little bit confused on how if they're going to put in the capital ships, then we're probably going to get carriers at some point, and I just don't know how a carrier is going to work on Eve Echoes. I'm very, very interested to see how they do that. Capital is somewhere in August, September. Really? Nightmare. Well, I will be doing the Nightmare as well as far as these at-zero ships. I think the Nightmare is going to be easy mode, if you will. You can make a Nightmare's tank basically indestructible. As far as it killing stuff, though, the Nightmare's DPS is very, very lackluster. Especially if you overtank it like a beast like that. So I figure the Nightmare is going to have no problems with this at all. It's just going to take a long time to kill anything. Freighters and Dreadnoughts first. Got it. You still think it's bonkers to get the Dreads before the Strikers? Yeah. Yeah, I'm confused about the T10 choices anyway, especially with the moving things around, and then it talks about Dreadnoughts now. It's like, really? What's going on here? So they're gonna have to completely recode drones for carriers. Yeah, I don't see carriers coming out anytime soon. They're going to have to fix the drone issue. They're going to have to give drones a lot more control. I mean, those drone control groups will just be the first of the issues they'll need to do. Yep. However, I love me some carriers, so I will get one. And what is it? I mean, if they put the Dreadnoughts out, I believe the Dreadnought that I would want would be the Paladin. So, yeah. The Paladin for reasons I will not mention. Nightmares will need tractor beams the most. Yep. Well, I'm also wondering too, I mean, if they start going that far, isn't it likely that we're going to see ships, like the ore ships in here, like the Noctis? If we have a Noctis, people are going to have their alt accounts with a Noctis to come in and clean up all the loot. Because in EVE Online, that's what I did. I literally had an alt account that spec'd out and maxed out the Noctis skills and all the ore reprocessing skills and all of that, and would just go pick up all of my loot for me, follow me around, pick up my loot, and then process everything. And I would not be opposed to seeing a Noctis. We need to split damage systems for the ammo/drones before fighters. Yeah. I would also like to see some laser crystals. The only reason I will ever move out to 0-0 is to fly a carrier. Yeah. Oh. I think ammo would be cool, personally. It would definitely make a lot more changes to it, and especially if you're going to start making the rats harder and harder, you also need to start thinking about things. And one of the other things is too is I've noticed, if you look at reload time, 35 seconds. They have a reload time already built into the stats here. Just saying. It's possible that we could see missiles and ammunition and stuff like that, and it would take advantage of those reload times. I expect to add the loot collector thing as an in-game store purchase only. I played mini games and I'm like, oh, that would suck. That I would not like to see. Here's your Noctis. You can only get it if you purchase cash shop items. I wouldn't like that. I don't foresee them doing that though. They're probably just not going to add a Noctis. All right, here we go. Stop it. So we have 24 ships here. This is not well. Lock, 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 lock. Alright, so this is the big test here. We need to take out that elite rock. See what else we got in here. Tank is holding fairly well. Yeah, that elite rock is going to be a pain in our butts. He is sitting out at 31 though, so these aren't doing us any good. So, let's get these on another target. Yeah, this is problematic. Six disruption devices on us. Very problematic for our missiles. 22.55. Oh. Well, if we can survive this one, it's possible that we can survive the next wave. We do have to pick our targets right, though. This rock has got to go, that elite rock. It's applying so much damage to us. I don't think we're going to make it. Our tank is slowly breaking. Come on. Damage is just too low to take out those elites in time. think this is a bad decision. And our missiles can't even take out this MOA here. Okay. So it's not our cap that's a problem, it's the damage. And it's not going to recover, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't take anything off the table. Oh, this is looking rough. Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. Get rid of small fry first off. Small fry's not really doing that much damage though. Hold up, but we'll try, we'll try. I will move over, we'll do that. Get these guys on a new target. Pretty sure once we get rid of that elite rock, we're going to be in a much better spot. Oof, that was a big hit. If we can get rid of that elite rock. Yeah, we're killing the small fry even so slow. Oh no, this isn't looking well. Yeah, it's just killing everything way too slow. Oh my god, can't even kill the condors very quickly. Alright, let's go with something a little bit bigger. Man, we need that rock to die. That rock will not die. It's just going to take forever to kill it. Good thing Galente ships have a ton of hull. It does look like it's done because we can't get rid of that rock. He's just too far away with all. If we could have gotten all of our missiles on there, I think we could have eliminated his damage. And once we eliminate the elite's damage, we're back to being in a safe space. But we can't hit him because of all of the missile disruption. Bringing this ship to Bad Hair Day was a bad idea because of the missile disruption. I should have picked another mission. Oops. No, no, no. You guys continue on him. And you move over to this ship. Yeah. We gotta get stable somehow. And we can't... Literally, it's gone through our entire armor and shield, and we can't kill this rock. It just takes way, way too long to kill anything that's worth its salt in doing damage. Okay. We are dead-deado. And that is the end of the magical potato. Oh man, it tried. But yeah, we couldn't get the elite dead fast enough. The elites cause a ton of damage. The elite battleship is very important to actually get off of us. He was also the one with some of the Gnosis and everything. But that is sitting at 0. Again, I do think that this ship could do amazing at a brawler fit, not necessarily just sitting at 0 though. So don't get me wrong, this was literally just a test to see if it not moving at all at 0 it could do it. The shield extender I think would be a great idea to bring on there. I still think that the lack of damage is going to really suffer when you have a lot of the bigger elite targets. If you're starting to run into a lot of battleships, it's not able to get the damage off the table fast enough. Targeting the smaller ships might have been a thing that we could have done to eliminate more of that damage quicker, but the smaller ships are doing 15 points a pop, and the larger ships are doing 600 through the damage and whatnot. So, yeah, there is something to be said about both ways. I don't know which way would have been the most effective. I was trying to do a little bit of both there. So, it did last quite a long time, though, on the 22 ships. It just... Maybe if I would have taken out the smaller ships first and left the elite, it could have done a little bit better, but you can't really change up in the middle of battle. If I did start changing, I'm spreading damage around everywhere and it wouldn't have been effective. If I did try it again, I will try to take out the smaller ships first and see if maybe it would have done better there. But in a normal battle, if I was going to take this in, the very first thing that I would do is remove everything that has a scram, so I could actually get out if I needed to. And I do think that you have almost enough time to clear out everything. The only thing that would give you trouble is if a battleship had a scram on it. So I still think it would be able to definitely get out of the encounter safely. And I think if you weren't just trying to sit at 0 and you were sitting a bit off and you got them in smaller groups and you took out some of the key ships first, that this ship would do just fine in a brawler fit, and it would do great. Sitting at 0 though, I think it's a little weak, and I honestly don't think the shield extender would have saved us there, just because it would have made us last longer, yes, but I just don't think we could clear out everything quick enough. But I could be wrong there. I don't know, it's a lot to think about. There's still a lot that we can learn and do from this. I definitely would want to try to kill the smaller targets first next time. Yeah. I love that part, because, again, looking at it, one of the big things that I noticed is we had 6 of the missile jammers on us. Our missile range was nothing, and our explosion radius was horrible. So even putting those missiles on the smaller ships, they just weren't doing any damage because of all of the disruption that we were getting. So they weren't able to clear out the smaller ships fast enough. If I hot swapped the drones out to medium drones or small drones and tried to put those on the smaller ships, then the time that recall of the big drones to get those out there, it's just something that could have been done, but would have really been effective enough? And then I have to start slowly killing off all of the smaller ships. And again, is taking off 10-15 point damages every so often worth taking off those 600 hits? I can say, though, that it does look like even with all the Gnosis that were running on there, it wasn't losing power grid. So I think the power grid is actually just fine for tanking this. It's just figuring out the order that you would actually need to eliminate the ships with. Back to mining and building ships. Be safe. All right, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. I agree. My hurricane loss made me change it, and now I can do the 20 million side missions easily. Yeah. I know with my Harbinger, I flew my Harbinger for a long time, and I lost multiple Harbingers, and I always made changes. Like I said, I started using armor extenders. There was a lot of changes made. I went from primarily damage, and then I had resistance mods in there to armor plates and things like that. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of different changes. Every single time I would lose one, I would make them. Yeah, from what I have discovered from actually doing these at 0 before, is a majority of the damage in the last couple of waves actually come from the elite battleships. So if you can take out the elite battleships, because the ships that I'm bringing in here are tanked really heavily. So when you're talking about a bunch of small ticks of damage, even those smaller ticks of damage didn't seem to add up to what the big battleships were hitting me for. Over time they do, but those battleships, they attack pretty quickly. And so I've always found that if I can take out the elite battleships, normally I stabilize after that. But again, this ship is different, so it might actually do better by taking out the smaller ones. I think Sovereign RPG's medium drones are actually better than the large drones due to their better damage application, but they do lack DPS. Yeah, I tried to use both of them out there. I didn't see much of a difference between them. The big thing that I did notice is the small ones are able to apply their damage better to the smaller ships, and they do good enough damage to the battleships. So, or not small, the mediums. So I do think medium drones are... You might lose out ultimately on some DPS versus battleships, but other than that, they do seem to be more effective, honestly. Just all around more effective. Please wait. I want to move my capsule, man. Let me fly over here. I'm going to say hi to all these guys. Let's take a look. Yeah. So that was probably a little bit of bad play on my behalf as well, because I'm used to taking out the bigger elite ships first, because I think they apply the most damage, and it may have been better to take out the smaller ships. So again, there could have definitely been some different play there that may have saved the ship. I think with a little refit that it could do it as well. Yeah, I think with the time that you save with the medium drones, like, alright, if you bring large and medium drones to the combat, then you're going to spend time swapping them out. And the amount of damage increase that the large drones had, it just didn't seem worth it when you're fighting and you have an array of different ships. By keeping the medium drones out, they're going to apply their damage very well, and you can just move to target, and it doesn't particularly matter. But that's just my take on it after testing this out here. I think mediums would probably just be all around better. The option kind of gets removed on large drones, yeah. If you're specializing drones to kill frigs, cruisers, then you can change your highs to deal more damage with the battle cruisers plus. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too. If you're going to be doing bad hair day, I don't think the rapids are the way to go, honestly. I think you're going to lose so much damage application based off of all of the disruption that you're going to have in the last couple of waves, that your missiles their explosion radius is huge. I mean, everything on there is just horribly bad by all the disruption, and you have to pick your targets wisely. One, if you have elites that pull away too far, when you have no range, you're losing, what, basically almost half of your damage? Well, I wouldn't say half. You're losing a huge chunk of damage by your missiles not being able to hit. That's already pretty bad. And you're not able to take those elites out if they do get outside of the range. And then if you're trying to take out the smaller ships, your missile damage is also... It can't hurt them. It's so nerfed into the ground because of all of the disruption, it's going to just take you longer. So I think if you're going to do bad hair day, you would probably want to go with like autocannons or something like that on this ship. Now, that being said, if you take it into other missions, that's not going to be a problem where they don't have the missile disruption. So maybe doing Sweet Poison would have been better with this. I think Sweet Poison might have, you're not having to deal with the disruption. The lock-on is there. I mean, they're going to make your lock-on time longer, but honestly, that's nothing compared to basically losing 4 of your slots to being able to do nothing from all the disruption. Yep. So it's just fun to spitball ideas there. Again, if you're on the live server going, well, I trained all my missile skills, let me go ahead and just put some cannons on there that I don't have trained, isn't really something that you're going to be able to do. So changing your weapons over and rigs and everything like that. But knowing what missions to do and not to do, again, I would not bring, if you're going for a brawler fit, again, I would not bring Rapids to Bad Hair Day. That doesn't turn out too well. Autocannons, I think, would do very nicely, because the autocannons themselves would be able to reach out to beyond the range that those did. They could probably get out to like 40, 50. Yeah. I mean, they're going to do better damage closer up, but the biggest thing that you're going to have problems with there is, again, with the autocannons, you're not going to want to bring those against missions like Angel or Devil or whatnot, where you can have some really, really fast micro warp drive ships. There, your actual missiles will probably do better, because you're really grabbing them with one web. I mean, why use a Dominix at 0? You have the range of the drones for a reason. We were using the Dominix at 0 because it's a fun experiment to do, just to see if it could do it and find out. It's not that it's the most effective way to use the ship or anything like that. It was literally just for fun. And sometimes doing experiments like this to see if they can do is a good time. I enjoy it anyway. Seeing if you can make something work that's not necessarily the most effective thing in the world, but it is fun to see. I'd be wrapping some long-range missiles in my Raven to BHD. Okay. You use the long range to take out a lot of the targets, and then you can swoop in with the rapids. Apparently this thing does not want to warp.
Warp drive active.
Here we go. Yeah, this particular build did not work, unfortunately. And again, there could be a couple of things with why it didn't work. It actually held up pretty well, I would say. It lasted for a while. One would be my targeting. I may have needed to take out some of the smaller ships. Then that's what we were just discussing. Two, we could probably change the fit up a little bit. I do know that a shield extender on there instead of one of the third hardener would have probably been a better option to have as well. So there are different things that we're just, you know, spitballing here to try to see if they would have been better. It's fun. It's definitely fun, and it's really fun to hang out with everybody and see all the different ideas for the dumb stuff that we like to do. Nah, most of the sniper ships at the very far back. Yeah, so you sit back really far, and then if some of the micro warp drive ships do come in close, you have the rapids to deal with those, right? How many rapids do you normally run on the Raven? No PC. I'd have to try to make full videos with my phone like Benzie. Not sure how he does it. I don't know either. I do know that in some of his earlier videos he did post what phone he was using. I don't know if he ever actually posted the software, everything that he uses as well. Not sure about that. I make my content on the computer, so I do play the game on my phone. I just don't make my videos on there. Cool, cool. So, yeah, we almost did it. Benzie had a rogue phone. ROG? I don't know. 5 rapids, 2 long range. Got it. Cool, cool. Ah, the pod. Let's see, what ships have I lost on the test server? Oof. I've lost a Dominix, Cormorant Guardian, Corsair Guardian, Cormorant Guardian, Breacher Assault, Nemesis 2, Hound 2, and a couple of Apocalypses. Oh no, those are kills that I got. Okay. So I've lost the Breacher Assaults, a couple of Apocalypses, and a Dominix now. Those guys are part of the event that we did. Republic of Gamers, the Aces side company. Got it. I think the important part is getting a decent spec phone, then it's using whatever software app to do it. Well, I mean, as far as it goes, I do know that I use a couple of paid software myself, but that's just because I use them quite a bit. So I started off, I used free versions of the stuff, and now I actually pay for some things because, you know, I use them all the time, so I wanted to have full access to different stuff. Even though I don't take full advantage of all that things, I'm not the best editor in the world. But I do know that there is plenty of free stuff out there. So that was a fun experiment, though. I liked it. Didn't actually make it to the final wave. Made it to the wave before. And it turned out okay. Again, if you really wanted to face tank with a Dami, it has the ability to, for the most part, but I wouldn't sit at 0 with it. So again, when you start getting to those other waves, I think it would be able to handle those just fine, as long as you weren't on 0 and you took care of the small packs a little bit at a time. I think you wouldn't even have been in any danger whatsoever. It wouldn't even have been a threat. It was able to sit there at 0 for so long. And just move out for the last couple of waves and take out what comes to you and get rid of some of the elites, and then you can swim back in there with all the big guys and collect your loot whilst you're fighting. Could a Prophecy Guardian take the DPS in the last wave? Do I have... Oh, I don't have any Prophecy Guardian here. Did I... Prophecy Guardian? Yeah, I got one. Oh, it looks like I had that guy fit out for a test I was doing, mainly damage and large group reppers to work with some other people. I don't know. The answer is I could outfit one and find out. But here's the thing that I have the problem with the Prophecy Guardian as well. The Prophecy Guardian is going to have very, very low damage. And so the very low damage means they're not taking that DPS off the table anytime soon. If they're not taking DPS off the table, that tank is going to have to be insane. Can I show the fit that I used again? Yeah. So for the high slots, it had 4 Pith C-type large rapids. We were using in the low slots 2 Pith C-type large shield boosters. We had 3 Gist C-type adaptive, 1 Pitham C-type reactive, 2 Vicarlocus Energy Nosferatus, a Predator Stasis Webifier. I had an array of Mark 9 Ogres, as well as an array of Mark 9 Vespas. And okay, apparently I picked up a small rifled railgun somewhere. So I had a couple of core defense. Well, I had a couple of the core defense capacitors to make the capacitor recharge stable, and we had the what is it? Those are the safeguards, and then the core defense charge economizer to give us more shield boost amount. And then we had a couple of semiconductor memory cells, 3, and a capacitor control circuit. So that was the fit. Losses are cool. I feel like it was more endless through the afterwards, plus gives a bit of incentive to try slightly different. Yeah. Oh, you guys had a fight? I think a Prophecy Standard is still the best option. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you showing up and everything. I'm about to get out of here myself. But it was really fun. I enjoyed it. And it definitely makes me think about more stuff to do. So if you guys... I guess I'll repost the loot I collected last week and then build a Dominix from it. Well, you guys, if you do have any more ideas for these, I will be making some more videos on them. I don't plan on releasing one a day like I did for some of the other series that I was doing, because these ones do still take quite a bit of time to actually get through. So when I get home from work, I'll have to basically do an entire T10 in the ship, and once I get the T10 done, then I'll edit it down to just the last wave. But I will still try some different ships in there and everything. I do know that the Nightmare is on the table. I will be taking a look at that one next, and we'll see if that one can do it. Like I said, I don't have any fears for the Nightmare. I think it's going to be fine. And hold on, actually I think I can show you guys. Let's have a look here. Where is the Nightmare? There it is. So I put together this Nightmare here, and it's using some mods on here that aren't in the game currently. Again, test server stuff. I normally don't like to make ships with stuff that's not available in-game, even if I'm using a ship that's not available in-game. And this one it would be, though. But using these extreme stuff, this Nightmare got up to 99% resistances to everything. Just saying. 99% resistances to everything. It was pretty ridiculous. I will not be using that one. Obviously I'll be using mods that are in game. Hey, bye Cold Shadow. Bye Valkyrie. Please try the 0-point tanking with the Machariel too. I definitely plan on doing that. Machariel doesn't have a lot of tank stuff going for it. But I do think that the raw DPS the Machariel puts out is going to make up for its lack of tank. And so I'm very excited to try that one out, since I do have a Machariel on my alt account as well. So I'm very, very excited to see that one. I am probably going to save that one for a little bit down the line, because you're the first who's actually requested it, other than me. So, yeah, definitely Nightmare is going to be coming out. Machariel will be on the list. I'll probably end up doing all of the faction ships, all the faction battleships anyway, and I'll be trying out the regular ships as they come to me. Wait, will we probably get meta level 15 modules? Well, the answer to that is there is no release date on chips and modules that you see on the test server. So they are subject to release. They may or may not even come out. But as far as having some stuff that they already have on the back end, yeah, they exist. But I'm not telling you anything that other content creators haven't showed off in the past before when it comes to these. If they've actually had some of the PvP battles that I've seen some of the guys do where they've actually used the high-end stuff on. Again, I don't like using it personally for videos because this stuff here isn't even on the books. So this is like not even talked about at all about whether or not they're going to do anything with these. Succubus at 0 and a T10 story next. Well, a Succubus at 0, I'm a lazy guy. All my ships are face taking at 0. I'm a lazy guy too. If I could make a ship face tank at 0, nice. I don't know if a Succubus could survive just based off of its low hit points in total. Even using the shield field booster and everything like that, I just think the incoming damage is going to be too much for it to take sitting at 0. Now, I know Succubuses can... Oh, I didn't even look at the Succubus, did I? I was looking at something else. I looked at the Phantasm. I know Succubuses can do T10s. Yeah, I don't know. It's only going to be able to put on one additional hardener and still have a tank. Oh. We can probably do that one. It'd be short. It's actually going to be really long to get to the final wave, or the wave before it. But then after that, I think it'd go pop. All right, guys. Thank you for watching with me. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I will see you next time.